Greetings other people of the internet, I am Miketendo, and well, as you just saw, my webcam is sort of broken, so these are how reviews are going to be for a while now. So I'm choosing to turn this into a new segment, Miketendo Talks About, which is where I give like first impressions on a new video game, or stuff that's happened recently, like if there's a Nintendo Direct or something. So as you can see from the screen on this, I'm going to be talking about my first impressions of Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric for the Nintendo Wii U. Now, obviously, when this game was announced, I was very skeptical on the idea of all the different designs and the change from a speedy platformer to an atmospheric, jump-about collectathon platformer. But now that the game is here, I just wanted to give my quick impressions of the game as a whole. And, well, all I can say is, I liked it. It was fun. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. It was just adequate. Yeah, I had fun, that was about it. So basically the plot of the game is Sonic, Tails, Amy and Knuckles all chasing Dr. Eggman and Metal Sonic, and they end up in a mysterious tomb where Sonic accidentally awakens the new creature known as Lyric, who is the main villain of this game, who wants to use the Chaos Crystals, or as I call them the Shmeosh Emeralds, to resurrect his giant robot army and take over the world. But that's about all the story has for it, as the rest of it is completely bare bones, mostly due to the fact that nothing is ever actually explained. For example, in one moment in the story, a bit of a spoiler warning here, Shadow appears out of nowhere to berate Sonic on how he is not worthy to fight Lyric because he trusts his friends or something, and Sonic just acts like he knows him, but I just want to know how. For being a prequel to this new continuity, it really doesn't explain anything about the continuity whatsoever. For all I know, this is the same continuity, and Sonic has now decided to wear a scarf, and Knuckles went to the same gym as a Swampert. But anyway, the main difference with this game is its newfangled exploration gameplay with a few speed sections, and it'll put in for good measure. The exploration platforming is very similar to games like Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, and Sly Cooper, and I really enjoyed the platforming as a whole. It wasn't too spectacular. I mean, I've seen it many times before with many different characters, but all the characters have unique traits that they can use, like Sonic can spin dash up ramps and use his homing attack, Tails can fly over, not fly, glide over air currents and use a little robot to operate mechanisms. Amy can use her hammer as like a pole to cling onto narrow poles, kind of like Sly Cooper, and Knuckles can climb on walls and ceilings and dig underground for short amounts of time. And that's pretty much it for the exploration. It's really fun. I had a lot of fun with the exploration and platforming as a whole, because, well, it's stuff I've all seen before countless amounts of times. It's still fun stuff I've seen countless amounts of times. And of course this game has the newfangled combat, which I'm just going to say now is really basic and kind of tedious at points. Well, I mean, it's like a werehog. If you took the werehog and made it really, really basic and make it boring, because every character only has like one combo and a special attack. Granted, Sonic has also the spin dash and a homing attack to use in combat, and Tails has really good projectiles, but that's all it is in terms of differences in combat. They all control the same in combat. There's nothing really special about anyone in combat aside from Sonic, and it really just starts to lose its finesse after you've like decided on one combo that you can instantly use over and over and over again. Again, that was the problem with the werehog, but with the werehog there were so many different combos. Though one thing I can say in the defense of this combat is that it's a lot more split apart, with more platforming rather than just combat, small bit of platforming, combat, small bit of platforming, combat. It's more long bit of platforming, combat, long bit of platforming. So it's more spaced out and it's a lot more manageable. So yeah, the level design as a whole is very nice. There are often routes for different characters at a time, like there might be a route for Knuckles and Amy, or a route for Sonic and Tails to take in a particular level, and it's all really good stuff. And the boss battles are pretty fun as well, actually. My favourite boss battle has to be the one with Metal Sonic, even though it took me a while to get used to and everything, but it actually feels like something you would play in a Sonic game. Oh yeah, it's also taking place in one of the game's many speed sections, which pretty much what would happen if you simplified... This game is pretty much how I would sum it up as a simplified version of Sonic Unleashed for kids. Except with a bit more exploration platforming. Because the speed sections are kind of like Sonic Unleashed if you simplified it to just being able to quick step and jump. That's about it. Oh, and you can roll along the ground to attack, but that really doesn't do anything against anything else. But Yeah, it's really simple. The frame rate really takes a hit during these speed sections though, because it will constantly chug during these sections. In fact, that's one problem I do have with this game, is its frame rate. It kind of chugs on many different sections of the game, like in the hub world, which is way too bloody big. I'll say that now. But as I just said, the boss battles are really fun. My favorite, Metal Sonic's my favorite boss, but fights with Eggman, Lyric, and Shadow are all really fun as well. But the main problem I do have with this game is its presentation. Graphically, it looks passable. The environments are pretty nice, the character models are quite nice, but the textures leave a lot to be desired. It doesn't look amazing. And the music is downright atrocious. It's all like that sort of atmospheric platformer soundtrack, but it sounds nothing like the Sonic soundtrack, and it just sounds really bad. The game is also a tad on the glitchy side. I mean, kind of like Sonic 06, yes, but unlike Sonic 06, I rarely found any sort of actual game-breaking glitches. I mean, there was one where I was in the speed section where you were trying to dodge Lyric and Eggman's attacks, and I was playing as Amy. I switched to Knuckles and somehow managed to glitch past a cutscene and wind up on the island I was supposed to go, but it was completely invisible and I couldn't die, so I had to save and quit and restart the section, which I didn't mind because it was a really fun section. And there was also one where I was on a zip line with the Beam, and basically it showed a cutscene of the next area that I was swinging to, but I lost all momentum and I was just stuck on the zip line for a good few seconds. And then it suddenly decided, oh wait, he's on the zip line. So it rocketed me over to the place, and I just got stuck on a wall. But those are the only two glitches I've actually run into in my playtime with Sonic Boom. And would I really say it's as bad as Sonic 06? In honesty, no. I would much rather play this game over Sonic 06. It does have a lot of nitty-gritty gripes, like really basic combat and platforming, and the frame rate not being too great, and the music being abysmal. But I can sort of recommend this to people who just like platformers. I'd have a hard time recommending this to Sonic fans, as it is a rather big departure from the likes of Adventure and Generations. But those just looking for a good platform, I can kind of recommend Sonic Boom, though I would recommend like Adventure, Generations, Unleashed, and Colors well before I recommend this to you. So, as a whole, I would say it's fun. I'd just say it's fun, and I would recommend approaching it with caution if you're a Sonic fan. If you just like platformers or looking for something for your kids, rent it first, and see if you like it. And if you do like it, wait until it's like a price drop or something. But with all that said, I've been Miketendo, and I'll see you for the next Miketendo Talks About.